I'm Dave Zamos for the Federation Chesapeake Council, and I'm here at the Somerset 2017 Fly Fishing Show with the Simon Gawesworth.
It's not a the.
It's the. You're world renowned for your casting abilities and your knowledge. And Simon's with Rio Products. And Simon,
Dave,
what's
hi.
new? How are you?
I'm awesome.
Good.
I'm awesome. It's a wonderful show. I mean, one of the best shows in the world.
It is one of the best shows in the world. And so
Yeah.
what does Rio have this year that's new? Let's start with the coastal fishermen.
We have, for new this year, we have a thing called a coastal quick shooter. Now, the coastal quick shooter is a series of two different types of lines that are designed to fish in the coast, cooler climates, not tropical. They are clear intermediate based lines. I've got a couple here to show you. They are clear intermediate lines, and I'll bring them out. An important thing about the lines is there are two different colors. There's a green one, coastal quick shooter, and what that has is a clear head. Right, so the head is clear so that you can get down. It's not going to spook fish if it's really clear water, which I think is really cool. We have a lot of striper lines and outbound shorts, a lot of anglers know, and we've had those in the past, but they don't have clear heads. And so one of the things this idea this year was to get some clear heads out there. And this one is a green one, as I say, and that's available from a 6-weight to an 8-weight, so a little bit light for a striper angler. But we have what's called the XP, which stands for extra powerful. What's cool about the XP is it's purple, so it's easy to remember, P, like extra purple, but this is extra powerful. And this has got a really short head, very aggressive front taper. It's going to throw poppers and clousers, and it's going to throw some big heavy flies and gurglers and stuff like that. So it'll throw the big flies. It's available from an 8-weight to a 10-weight. Again, got the clear head. Very different taper from the green one, but still both called coastal quick shooters. With this one probably being the most applicable one for a striper angler. Anyone who using a rod of 8 or 9 weight is going to use the XP.
So if you're using these lines for the coast, but you instead want to go up to the Great Lakes and fish for a steelhead in the tributaries or a salmon out of the Great Lakes, can you use these lines there too?
Oh, absolutely. So, one of the interesting things, a lot of people get confused about saltwater lines and freshwater lines. And really, there's very little difference between the physiology of the environment. It's the temperature that's different. So these are cold water lines. So you could use these on lakes because you want a clear intermediate on a lake. Absolutely no problem. What you can't use them is in the tropics. Anything of fishing in 85, 90 degrees of heat, and you strip your line in, and when you're bone fishing and you're waiting for that shot, and you're waiting for an hour and you're being pulled around, and the sun's just baking the line in the bottom of the boat, lines like this then start to get sticky, and they get tacky. They don't shoot very well, they don't hold a loop shape very well, the loops start to get soggy and slack and die, and so that's why you use a tropical line. So you can always use a saltwater line in the freshwater and a freshwater line in the saltwater, is you just can't mix those temperature environments. Then you have different cores, we have different coatings and stuff like that. So although it's called a coastal quick shooter, you could absolutely use it in lakes. And I'd use the green one because that's a better presentation one, and that goes right down. I think it's a 6-weight, but it might be a 5-weight. It goes down to a lighter size.
Very good. Now, we have the Delaware River, big river around here.
Yeah.
What if you're nymphing the upper Delaware River?
Well, there's a lot of, it's funny, this show's, it's knocked me out of the park, this show, how much interest there is in nymphing. I mean, we've done, this is probably my 18th or 19th year here, and this year we have had so many people asking about nymphing materials and nymphing products like that, and particularly that high stick kind of check nymphing thing, rather than the regular lobbing it out there and fishing an indicator. Right. Obviously we've got lines that'll do that, and we always have done. More for the check nymphing angler, we have lines and gear for that. We have specialty lines. We have what's called a Euro nymph, which is a very, very thin fly line designed to have maximum sensitivity when you're hanging off the rod if you don't know what check nymphing is or high stick nymphing. It's competition legal. It's certified by the FIPS Moosh, so it's a competition legal line. We have some special leaders that are Euro nymph leaders, built in two-tone tippet. So there's a whole slew of stuff that's designed for nymphing anglers, and you can check these out on the Rio website, or the local Rio dealers or wherever they are in the Chesapeake Bay area or wherever you are will have these products in. But there's a whole bunch of stuff, especially for nymphing anglers, and I recommend you check that out.
Of course, you have everything for every situation, right?
We don't yet have an Arapaima line. Somebody asked for one of those yesterday. And we used to have a carp line, but we kind of dropped that because not many people bought a carp line. But apart from that, we've got quite a few lines.
So a carp line, would you use a bonefish line instead?
In the heat, in the summer, absolutely, because it's a hard tropical coating. So if you're going to go carp fishing in July or August and it's 90, 100 degrees out there, absolutely, I'd use a carp line on a bonefish line on that. In cooler climates, I'd probably use a Rio Grande or something like that. I'd use a camo color line because fish can be pretty spooky. They're right on the top and they can spook a bit, so I'd use a camo line. Just a trout line called a Rio Grande or something in that camo series would be ideal.
Very good. Thank you.
So that's a brief summary of stuff, and maybe one last line, if you've got a quick time, is to talk about one last new line, and that's called the Big Nasty. It's awesome. I love the name. It tells you exactly what it does. It's a line, excuse me, it's a line built on a low stretch core, so it's very sensitive to the grab and the hook set. It's very easy to cast because of that low stretch, but the taper configuration is a lot of weight at the front, so a very short front taper, and as the name suggests, it's designed for big flies. So if you're throwing poppers for bass, if you're throwing a floating line, if you want to throw it in the surf for stripers and you want a floating line, you can do that because that's Canada for salmon or anything like that. Pike, be good with pike line. We have pike lines and they have the similar tapers to this, but basically anything that's a big fly, the Big Nasty is the line for you.
Okay.
So that's about it.
Easy to remember.
It should be.
Simon, thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for coming by, and hopefully the rest of the shows will be as good as the last couple of days.
You're well. It's a great show.
Yeah, it is.
Back to you.